Warm greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Sunday, May 3rd, 2020. Hope you all are well and safe out there. Thanks for joining me. There is a viral video circulating in the viral world. It was released by China, and it is a response to the American response to COVID-19. And it is up for interpretation. If you need verification for this storyline, please log on to NBC News. China mocks U.S. in Once Upon a Virus online video. And the video is in the insert of the article. China released a short animated video on Saturday titled Once Upon a Virus that appeared to mock the contradictory U.S. response to the coronavirus pandemic. In the video, a masked terracotta warrior representing China and a Statue of Liberty figurine talk to each other. The Chinese warrior tells the U.S., "We discovered a new virus," to which the Liberty statue shrugs, "So what?" It goes on to outline a series of time periods where China alerts the WHO and a seemingly unbothered U.S. about the coronavirus. The move is the latest in war of words between the two powers, each criticizing the other's handling of the outbreak that has so far killed more than 239,000 people around the globe, according to Johns Hopkins University. And there's other information in the said article pertaining to New Mexico that has an outbreak, and they're blocking roads to the city of Gallup because of there are people who have contracted the virus, and the governor is basically saying that the virus is running amok in that said place, and it's the National Guard has stopped traffic on roads to Gallup, which borders Navajo Nation, where at least 44 people have died of the coronavirus. And it says the American Indian Territory has the third highest infection rate in the country, behind states of New York and New Jersey. And then there's also information in this article pertaining to New York City and them using, extraordinary efforts to try to keep the city clean and keeping the subways clean. And they're saying Saturday they made a decision to shut down New York City subway system each night as an effort to disinfect it every 24 hours. So that's the information there. But to get back to the main line about this viral video of China mocking the U.S., I'm going to say this. I've said it a few times, because as I tell you all, most of you who follow me know I don't like arguing and bickering over who said what, who did what in any type of situation. Everything is about perception. What you see, I don't see. What I hear, you don't hear. And that is going to be the argument pertaining to China and the U.S. and the who said what to whom first, whom got the information first about COVID-19, when COVID-19 got its name, who they thought spread COVID-19, how COVID-19 came to be, were there other cases of people with COVID-19 in China that were not related to the wet market that has been related in a said article that I brought you guys. When was the appropriate time for America to take this issue serious? When should our president have taken this issue serious? Should we have been masked up, gloved up in January? The fact that it didn't happen until mid-March, the virus had already run amok stateside due to the fatalities and the people going to the hospital sick. Said states, towns giving said information of people going to the hospital, people dying. Everything's about interpretation. Some want to argue that the cases of COVID-19 are no different than the cases of the flu, deaths that transpired last year or the year before, which and so ever. Well, as I stated to someone in the comment section, well, we got, a couple of extra thousand this year, or 1,000 or more. My thing is, death is death. It's final. There's no playback. There's no coming back. The fact that this virus has circulated the globe tells me it's more than just the flu. Because naturally, yes, people can get the flu in various regions. But when you start seeing a high percentage of people, certain persons, certain age groups dying, you'd have to be a fool not to have taken notice. So you can weigh the COVID-19 pandemic how you see fit. If you think there were more people infected with this virus in China, that is your interpretation. The fact that this country wants to say the strain that they've seen and tested came from Europe, I don't really care. Who cares? Who cares if the strains that you've tested of patients in New York came from Europe? That doesn't mean anything to me, due to the fact that you don't have a vaccine, you don't have a cure. Okay? So whether you saw strains from Europe, China, Iraq, Iran, who cares? You see what I'm saying? To me, it doesn't matter. The point is, the virus allegedly emanated from China. They put their people on lockdown. They had a high, strict regime to get it knocked down. They put their people on lockdown. That was their way of handling the virus, to knock down the spread of it. We did not have those measures here. Our government didn't enact any heavy measures such as how they do business, because America doesn't do business the way the Chinese do business. You can argue that point if you choose to. You can argue that it came from a lab over there. New articles, plural, whichsoever, have stated that it came from a lab. Somebody leaked it out. Somebody put it out. That is your interpretation. The one thing I tell people is that arguing about the virus is a waste of time, only because arguing about its origin is a waste, only because you will never get proof where it came from. No one's going to own they deliberately brought a virus out of a lab, brought it out by mistake, mishandled something, mishandled things in the lab, the testing, whichsoever. Do you understand what I'm saying? The fact that some of you want to say that the government is behind, the U.S. government is behind the virus, harming its own people, which makes no sense, because then that means you've got to also pay the price and the piper for infecting your own. And you would risk, what? Infecting your own family and friends? So how many people are we talking about involved in the U.S. government that planted this coronavirus? If you want to believe that. 5, 6, 10, 12, what? The whole Senate, what? 12 Republicans, what? All the Republicans, what? You see where I'm going with that? I don't get down like that. The blame game, we can go on and on. Who did what to whom? Who said what to whom? Who told whom what first? Whom believed it first? Some of us believe the president didn't take it serious. Well, I would concur with that. If I was to concur anything, that I would concur. I don't think Donald Trump believed the virus was serious. He and a lot of other Americans don't believe the virus is serious. And the way people are walking around without masks and gloves on proves the point that they also do not believe that the virus is serious. They don't believe it's no more deadly than last year's flu virus. Everything's up for interpretation. You believe what you want to believe. If you want to believe that the virus was purposely done by the Chinese government to harm the U.S., which is the most crazy outrage, it's crazy because you got to remember, the virus allegedly started there, whichsoever. You want to believe the U.S. concocted the virus, did it to their own. That's your choice. People had it before. Someone from the wet market had it in China. When the U.S. should have stepped up and stopped business. It was already here in January, obviously. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some think it was even before then, before 2020. Everything is up for interpretation. But I watched this video. I did laugh because it is funny. And you can't help but laugh. That's my interpretation. That's my perception. It was a funny video. I did laugh because there's some truth to it. No matter how you weigh it, what your beliefs are on the origin of COVID-19, the response of China's response, the WHO's response, and the American government / president's response to COVID-19, the video itself is hilarious to me because we were stagnant in getting the American people masked up, gloved up for this pandemic. March was late in the game. And now everyone's pointing the finger at this one, this one, this one. President contradicting himself and said commentary, joking about different things and ways to combat the disease with using cleaning agents, which is the stupidest thing ever. You see, everybody needs a scapegoat. That's the 411. That's in any line of business, be it personal, be it government. Doesn't matter. When one doesn't want to take any type of responsibility, he or she or they will pass the buck, will blame somebody else. It's his fault, it's her fault. And of course, yeah, I had felt some type of way about China because I feel like, looking at the pictures of the wet markets and looking at these people running out in the woods, the Wild West, the forest out in Africa, poaching these pelicans and said animals that are endangered. Why? So you can have something to eat, so you can make some money, so you can sell it. And everybody knows that when you're crossing different seas, it takes time to travel by boat. You're not flying by plane with some dead animals in a suitcase, are you? So how you getting it to the next place to sell it? Now you see where I'm going? So then you have to think of traveling with this animal, going place to place, selling it. Is it even safe to eat once you get it to the next location? The practices of the place that you've dropped that said animal off, and on and on and on. Then you look at how people live here and abroad as well. You got this nasty virus running around and people got messed up hygiene already. They don't keep their self and bodies clean. And now you got a virus. How in the hell can you combat it? Anyway, it's odorless. You can't see it. You can't smell it. And then you factor in they want you to wash your hands every 5 seconds. Keep your face, nose covered. And then, as I state, you factor in a person's hygiene. That is the reason why the virus has got to jump off in the first place. Somebody touched something that touched something that touched something. And they left here, and they left here, and they left there, and they left there. And then it made itself to America, made itself to Europe. That's the point. And you don't keep yourself clean. You don't wash your hands. You're filthy, you're nasty, you don't keep a clean house. Then you go out here and you touch the door handles at Walmart. You touch the car door, the door handles at the doctor's office. Going into the restaurant, going into Big Lots, going into the Weigels, the 7-Eleven. You get my drift. This is why people stay sick anyway. Check out the video, everybody. I want to thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. And once again, the Queen is on tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. God bless you. Stay safe. Mask up. Gloved up. Dispose in the appropriate receptacles when you are done. God bless you all and stay safe. And this is Everyday Shenanigans. Bye-bye.